Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Sudoku Universe. Last episode we tried the first hard puzzle, number 61, and failed miserably. In between that, I've slept and hopefully revitalized my brain, but I also did a little experiment on the easy puzzles, in that I did these two puzzles trying with the assistants to just see if you could fairly mindlessly solve a puzzle just by clicking when you have this hint of show only possible moves. That hint is way better, way more helpful, because you can then effectively brute force it. Now, when you do that, that doesn't inherently mean you're going to get it right, because there still seems to be a possibility that you'll just click the wrong thing. And if you click the wrong thing, the game will happily give you only one available move that is the wrong move. I've also noticed that my mouse cursor on my screen, since I have the size and resolution and the dots per inch turned up, the mouse cursor is actually bigger than what it looks like on the recordings. So if there's like a number 9 here, my mouse cursor completely would cover that up as an option, and that leads to potential problems too. But yeah, noticeably you can, without putting any real logic or thought into it, just cheat all these. And I could see myself, if I just want all of the achievements of all the letters, just doing this, particularly for this game, like, because I've effectively given up on Sudoku Universe. Compared to what I see cracking the cryptic's capabilities are for their versions of their apps, this is by far the less helpful, less useful interface. And so while I might at some point opt to do Sudoku, I am going to definitely want to do it with a cracking the cryptic game. And I still may have some criticism on the other games too when I get there. They too may not have help. It is interesting that you have a timer here, but you don't have a clicks, and you don't have any kind of cooldown timer on the clicks. So you can effectively just brute force this, and it's not penalizing you in any way whatsoever. Although I may have hit a point on this easy puzzle where there is no longer a single obvious only one option. Play. And I think that very well may prove that the move is to, at some point, even on easy puzzles, the move is going to have to be to properly mark things and go through the numbers. And yeah, at this point I am just solving this puzzle. Or maybe I missed something here. Let's unmark this, and let's unmark this, and see if maybe I am back into a position now where just mindlessly clicking will work. Even mindlessly clicking, though, you do have a situation here where you are going to want to keep an eye out for what would be the most likely next position, because just going in a loop is going to be slower than what you really would like it to be. Let's see, if this has to have an 8, then this has to be 8. Then this could be a 1, or this could be a 1, and the other could be a 9. This can only be a 1. This can be only a 3. This can only be a 7. Noticeably, if you are just going to mindlessly click like this, which I'm not so mindlessly clicking now, it's not going to speed you up to such an extreme that you're solving puzzles in like 5 minutes instead of 15 minutes. You're going to solve puzzles in 7 or 8 minutes instead of 15 minutes. And you definitely shouldn't feel any satisfaction in solving a puzzle this way. And it probably is going to be way more difficult to do something like that on the more difficult puzzles in general. But yes, it is doable that you can just pretty mindlessly cheat through all the puzzles. But you can also mess up. So that's not why we're here today. That was just the intro puzzle, I guess, the little warm-up puzzle. I want to do this Master Ninja puzzle. And the question we want to find out is this puzzle going to be even more difficult than hard puzzles, or have they just kind of picked some names of puzzles and to name puzzle packs, and Pro Pack 1, 2, and 3 in Master Ninja are going to be maybe random in difficulty, or hopefully only as hard as hard and not any harder. But let's do this properly and try to save this properly. So we'll turn off this, and I don't even know if I want highlighted area enabled, but we'll leave it on. And let's try and solve this. This still, for the kinds of puzzles that are being shown here, this is a lot of solutions, and this pattern here of what we have, these kind of diamond emerald shape patterns, indicate to me that there's possibly a larger trick happening. But instead of trying to figure out if there is some kind of mathematical larger trick that says if you see this pattern, it is just going to be certain numbers in certain places, let's just solve this like we would solve any other Sudoku. Which we may be lacking a lot of options on the ones. And I, once again, really question if I shouldn't just mark everything as a pencil mark to start with, spend an extra 5 minutes on these puzzles, and then that way, when I see something can't be in that spot, remove the markings. I wish that there was a way to just click a button and make it work that way for people who think kind of backwards like I do on that aspect. I mean, it's not really that big of a difference from what you could do anyways, which is just click on every spot and fill in all the possible options at that point. But if it's not automated, it leaves room for potential mistakes to happen. So moving on to the 2s. We now know this is a 2, and then this is a 2. Do we have all the 2s so far? 2 either here or here. It would be nice if you could, when you're clicking this, then you would just have a number 2 marker effectively enabled. So then just left clicking would either set something as a 2 or right clicking would pencil mark something as a 2. That could eliminate a lot of redundant clicking. 2 is either here or here. And that's probably all we can do with the 2s, so let's look at the 3s now. 3 is going to either be here or here or here or here. 3 goes down this way, 3 goes down this way, 3 goes down that way, so we've already done that. This 3 goes up this way. Interesting. So this 3 stops this, and this 3 stops this, and then this 3 stops this and this, which means this has to be 3, which then means either this is 3 or this is 3. Which, you know, we're getting a lot of those pairs. And I think that's all we can do with 3s. So let's look at 4s. This has to be 4, because this blocks that from being 4, and then these 2 columns block those 2 from being 4. Which means either this or this is 4. And then this stops any of that from being 4, and this stops any of that from being 4, and this stops that from being 4. So either this one is 4 or this one's 4. This could be 4, and this could be 4. And then I think this can be 4, and I think this could be 4. I think that could be 4. And that wasn't particularly helpful, so let's move on to the 5s. This could be a 5, or this could be a 5. 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 And this could be a 5. Then I don't think there's anything more we can guess with 5s, so I guess we're moving on to 6s. This 6 blocks all of this row, this 6 blocks all of this row, which means this has to be a 6. Then that means this has to be a 6. means one of these is possibly a 6. This can't be a 6. And this can't be a 6. Because that blocks that and that blocks that, which means this has to be a 6 here. Which then means this has to be a 6 there. And we are done with the 6s. Good. Moving on to 7s, I guess. Either this or this could be a 7. And can we take any more information? This column can't have a 7, this column can't have a 7, so this one has to be 7. Which, that feels like that should tell us something. But doesn't feel like it does. Seven would block all of these options, but still this could be a 7 and this could be a 7. 7 would block all of these options, but still I think that was a 4. It's just only marked a 7 then. That was yet another misclick. A little too easy to misclick. 7 can't be here, 7 can't be here. Yeah, I think that's all we can do with 7, so we move on to 8s, which I think 8 in particular we might as well just skip because there's not a single 8 on the field. So, and I don't know if there is some secret mathematical thing about that that might make it easier, but to my knowledge, my low level of skill here, I'm just gonna have to play like that's just very useless. So 9 can't be here, 9 can't be in this column, and 9 can't be in this column. 9 needs to be in this segment, so the only place a 9 could be is here, which then maybe helps us further. 9 could be here, and has to be here because this blocks this, and that's the only option. So that means either a 9 is here, which it can't be because of that, which means a 9 has to be there. 9 can't be here, and this row blocks all these, and then this row blocks all these. So the only place a 9 could be is here. This one, this column blocks that. And so then we're done with 9s. Which, yeah, I guess at this point it makes sense just to cycle back around and do the 1s again. We'll see if we have any new information as far as the 1s. We need a 1 in this segment. This 1 blocks this. That means that has to be a 1. We need a 1 in this segment, and this 1 blocks all these, and this 1 blocks these, so, and this 1 blocks these, which means that has to be a 1. Okay. And then that means either this or this is a 1. So we can de-pencil mark those two. But that doesn't inherently mean this is a 3 and this is a 4. I don't think. At least. This 1 blocks this row, this 1 blocks this row, this 1 blocks this. So this could be a 1 still, and this could be a 1 still. Which, yeah, I think that means we just move over to 2s at this point. We need a 2 in this segment, and the only place left to put a 2 would be here, because this column blocks all these, and this column blocks all these. Okay. I guess that means we could probably take off that pencil mark. And then we can't put a 2 over here. We can't do this row with a 2. We can't do this row with a 2. So either there's a 2 here. Yeah, 2 has to be there. It can't be in this column because of this 2, and it can't be in this column because of this 2. And so we're now done with 2's. Yeah, and this feels like this is going a lot better than that hard puzzle, so maybe we should try a different hard puzzle and see if we can do that, or if it was just a case of me being mentally exhausted. This one prevents this. We should know at this point what number is missing here. We have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, and a 9. So this has to be 8. Yeah. Which then tells us this has to be 1. Which tells me then this can't be 1. We should be able to tell what number is here from this column. We are missing a 4, 5, 6. We're missing 8. We're going to be missing 8, I suspect, in a lot of these. And that means this is a 3. And then that means this is an 8. I guess there might be some weirdness in this puzzle in that the 8s are all hiding where you wouldn't ever really pencil mark them. This one should have another 8 added here. So we have the entire middle column set up. Now, what were we working on though? Were we working on 3s? Or were we working on 4s? Yeah, the only 3 left has to be there. And then the only place a 3 could be has to be there. So that's 3's done. 4's still fairly complicated to the point where I don't think there's anything more I can learn from them. Although there might be a very simple solution somewhere here that I'm missing. 5's, well, obviously this can't be a 5, so this has to be a 5. And then that probably means this is an 8, but let's just leave that blank. We need a 1 in this segment, and the only place to put a 1 is here. So then we can put that as an 8. And then it means either this could be a 5 or this could be a 5. But when we look at this 5, it eliminates this row, and this 5 eliminates this row, meaning either this is a 5 or this is a 5. And since this is marked as 1, this has to be a 5. Then that means this has to be a 5. So we have only one 5 remaining. This 5 eliminates this 5, making that 5. And so we are now done with 5's. 7's, well, we can only have a 7 here. can only have a 7 here. And then we can only have a 7 there. And then that's it for 7s. But noticeably there's a pencil mark here. Then we can erase. And at this point, 8s actually can be useful, since the only place you can put an 8 here would be there, and the only place you can put an 8 here would be there, and you can put an 8 here, or an 8 here. Back to 1s. Now the only place left to put a 1 is there, and the only place you can put a 1 here is there, which that inherently means that's a 4 too. Moving on to the 4s, the only place you can put a 4 is there, and I think the only place you can put a 4 in this one is here, which means the only place you can put a 4 in this one is there. So once again, if you have just a blank that you never pencil marked anything, and you started with 9 blank spots where an 8 could fill, it's going to be the 8. And yeah, last move is just to fill in that 8. And that worked. But what's so irritating about the puzzle checks is that you're getting no strike system. I kind of would prefer a strike system where if I lock in an answer or check a puzzle after locking in an answer, it would count strikes against me. It probably should be an infinite strike system as far as mistakes. Hexcells, in contrast, does that. It tells you the number of mistakes you make, and I don't think it actually forces you to restart the puzzle or anything if you make too many mistakes. But then there's also just no scoring system for potentially making mistakes. Alright, well, that was one Master Ninja puzzle, and I only wanted to do one Master Ninja puzzle, so let's jump into Hard 62. Now, notably, this seems like this is a more difficult puzzle. It just feels like there's less prompted numbers, and if there are less prompted numbers, there's a high chance of things being more difficult. Let's see. Trying to just boil through all the numbers here on this hard puzzle quickly. Looking at the 3s, which I don't think the 3s will be super helpful. Although the fact that a 3 is either here or here tells me that the third 3 has to be one of these. Is there anything more we can derive from the 3s? Probably not. Moving on to the 4s. Same situation with the 4s. And this could be a 4. Or this could be a 4. It probably is a very strict number as far as how many options or too many options to fill into a 3x3 grid segment. Like if I'm marking all 6 of these cubes as 4, that's almost certainly wrong. If I'm marking 4 of the cubes as 4, that's probably alright, but 5 is probably not worth doing. Moving on to the 5s. Basically have to have a 5 there because this blocks all these 3 and this blocks all 3 of those. Okay, and since we know a 5 is in this column, then the 5 could be either in this column or this column, which that's a lot of things to mark. And then, yeah, I just don't think there's a good enough reason in this first pass at least to mark all of that. So let's move on to the 6. 6 blocks all of these, which inherently means either this is 6 or this is 6, which then blocks all of these, and then this one blocks this one, so the only place a 6 can be is there, and then this makes it so that either the 6 is there or there, can't be on any of these rows. Does that tell me much more? Well, no, this 6 blocks these 2. This 6 blocks these 2. So this 6 in the middle has to be the case. Which then tells me either this is 6 or this is 6. And then that's probably all we can get. So moving on to 7s. We've got 7 blocking all these and a 7 blocking all these, which means either this is 7 or this is 7. And 7's blocking all these and 7's blocking all these. So this has to be 7. Okay. Does that help any further than that? I don't think it does. 7 is blocking all of these, and this 7 is blocking all of these, which means any of these 4 could be 7s. Moving on, 8s. You have an 8 here, an 8 here, an 8 here, meaning either this is 8 or this is 8. You have an 8 blocking any possibility here, an 8 blocking any possibility here, and an 8 blocking this spot. So this has to be 8, which means either this is 8 or that is 8. Do we have anything more? Well, we have an 8 blocking this. We have an 8 blocking these 2. Then we have an 8 blocking this spot. Which, if I just double check, I do think means the 8 could be... No, this 8 is blocking this spot, so it can't be here either. So this is the only option. There. I would heavily suspect I can't go any further with 8s now, so let's look at 9s. 9 coming down this way. You need a 9 either here or here. And possibly a 9 here, here, or here, here, or here. And that may not be a lot of information. This 9 blocks these 3, meaning a 9 could be or it could be here, or it could be here. Yeah, and I think that's all we can do, so let's go back to ones. Now, have we done anything that would make ones easier? No, not really. So let's skip to twos. Have we done anything to make twos easier? Might as well start marking things in, because I do think you're not going to get away from that. If we have any level of certainty whatsoever, I think marking things in makes sense. But it would be kind of crazy, for instance, to try and mark in what could be any of these spots as twos or any of these 6 spots as twos. And that just doesn't feel very efficient. 3 going here and a 3 not being capable of being here? Why is it not capable of being here? I think it is capable of being there. Well, 3 can't be on this row, and it can't be on this row. It means that has to be a 3. Which then remove that from being a 3. We can just look at this column now and see that we're missing a 1. No, we have a 1. We're missing a 2 and a 7. So, could this be 2 or 7? Looks to me like it could be. Could this be 2 or 7? No, it can't be 7. It has to be 2. So then it has to make that 2 or 7. And I think that's where we're going to start succeeding more. Now, because we'll have some things locking down. Although that may only help us so much. This 3 blocks all these options, this 3 blocks all these options, which means that's a 3. Which then would block all these options, which could mean either this is a 3, or this is a 3. That blocks all these options, which means any of those could be a 3. And this one, I don't think blocks anywhere enough options for me to bother to mark it off. This 3 would eliminate these 2, this 3 would eliminate these 3, which gets us down, I guess, to 4 possible locations for a 3 in that section. Which probably means we are probably past the point in which we should have moved on to 4s. We know there's a 4 in this column. Does that help us? This 4 I really am doing this very backwards from the way I've seen other people do it, in that I'm not just marking all the possibilities in a square. And that's almost certainly making it more difficult for me. Because what I'm effectively doing here is I'm considering the number 4 and where the number 4 can go in the entire puzzle, when I should be considering the square and what numbers can fit in a specific square. That would require a lot less thinking, but I can't really twist my mind around to think that way. I don't think I can do anything more with 4s, so let's move on to 5s. Not sure I can do much with 5s at all. Let's just skip to 6s. 6s could be rather helpful here. Okay. This 6 here eliminates everything. So only 2 things. So 5 of these squares could be pencil marked with a 6. Which I think that's too much pencil marking. And I'm pretty sure that's all I can do. Moving on to 7s. Yeah. That seems like it's pretty much all I can do with 7s also. I may just be giving up too easily. 8s. Yeah, nothing can be done with that. 9s. Well, let's pencil mark in the 9s here. This looks like it could be a 9. This looks like it could be a 9. And that looks like it can be a 9. And that looks like it can be a 9. In this segment, we need a 2 and we need a 9. So I might as well mark the potential 2s also in that spot and make that a 2-9 domino. And yeah, since there's only one 9 on the board, almost certainly that's not going to be any more help. None of it feels like it's going to be any more help, and I don't want to cross that line again and just start guessing, putting like a 2 here just on a random guess, because if I put a 2 here, I think I've pretty well proven that within this game it will let me just continue playing all the way to the end until I will be 98% done with the puzzle and realize I did it wrong and not have a save state, unless I make it a save state to revert to, which save states as a feature does make a lot of sense. Also really doesn't hurt to just have that button there, even if you're not going to use it. It's just the tiniest of visual distractions. We know that there needs to be a 1 and a 9 in this square. So 1, 9. And we might have been able to derive something from, if there was a 1, 9 here and a 1, 9 here, that might guarantee that we don't have to put a 1 or 9 in these sections. Yeah. on this row, we have a 1, a 2, and a 9 that's needed. Do we need anything else? No. So 1, but not the 2 here, and 9. Which, if a 2 has to be in this row, and the 2 can't be here because of this, and the 2 can't be here because of this, then we know that that's a 2. And then we know that that is a 9. And then we know that that's a 1. And then we know that that's a 9. And then we know that's a 1. And then seems like we've now got it going. We need a 2 in this row, so it has to be there. And then we need a 7 in this row, so that's got to be that. And that only leaves us with 4 and 9 between these two options. Which is just way more manageable. Way more manageable now. I guess the question though is what would be the next direction to go, since we've almost got this full center filled in. It doesn't fully make a lot of sense to go this direction or this direction, but each of these remaining column segments are still pretty complicated. 9 here is no longer a possibility. In this, we need a 4, a 3, and a 5. Yeah. This can't be a 4 or 3, so it has to be a 5, which then pairs this 4 and 3 and this 4 and 3 together. Okay. And I desperately just want to go back to looking at numbers like this, but I don't think that's actually going to help me. On this row, we need a 1. 1 can't be here. 1 could be here. 1 could be here. 1 could be here. We need a 2. 2 can't be here. 2 can't be here. 2 can't be here. 2 can be here. We need a 6. 6 can't be here. 6 can't be here. 6 can be here. Then we need a 9. 9 can be here. And 9 can be here. But a 1 can't be here. And since we only have one spot for 1, that fills that in. Okay. Slowly, ever slowly, we are filling this in. We need a 3. 3 could be here. 3 can't be here. 3 could be here. 3 can't be there. We need a 4. 4 could be here. 4 could be here. 4 could be here. And 4 could be here. We need a 5. 5 could be here. 5 can't be here. 5 could be here. 5 can't be there. Then we need a 9. 9 can't be here. 9 could be here. 9 could be here. 9 could be here. So that was a lot of pencil marking, but not a lot of progress. But maybe that is exactly what's going to happen, is that we're just going to have to go through each of these rows. Because we've done this row, we've done all 3 of these rows, and we've done this row. And column-wise, I don't think you're particularly in a great position. This column, I guess, is a good candidate. We need a 3 in this column. We need a 5 in this column, which I guess all of these could be 5s. And then we need a 9 in this column, and the 9 can't be here. 9 can be there, and a 9 could be there. It almost feels like looking at the rows and columns and going that way is almost exactly the same as just looking at the numbers and trying to cross-reference the numbers. But it is, I think, basically doing the same thing, but coming at it from a very different angle. And yeah, when you do come at it from that different angle, you're definitely in a different position. This one can't be a 2. So that leaves only this as a 2. So now we've gotten the 2's done. Not sure there's anything that the 3's can help us with. Yeah. Just skip the 3's. 4's. These hard puzzles definitely feel harder than the Master Ninja puzzle did. They're giving you less information, and the hints are and the numbers are closer together in ways, so it's not like there's one far in this corner and then one far in this corner. Instead, they're all right next to each other, which feels like that's less helpful. Maybe that's not mathematically true. I imagine a lot of doing Sudoku is just mental endurance and not giving up mentally before you subconsciously or consciously see the solutions. Well, if a 3 can only be here because a 3 can't be here or here, could a 3 be here? Yes, it could. So we're not certain yet about the 3's. Could this be a 5? I think there's a chance it could be. Could this be a 5? I think there's a chance it could be. Could this be a 5? Yeah. Could this be a 5? Yeah. I don't know if that was particularly helpful. 6 and 6 and 6. Means either this is 6 or this is 6. This can't be 6, so the only place that one can be is a 6. Which then means the only place this one can be is there. So we should be very close. There we go. I've got all the 6s done. Which means I can take the extra time out to remove all the pencil marks. 7. Take out pencil marks. And inherently one of these two has to be a 7. And if one of these two has to be a 7, it means this can't be a 7. Which means this has to be a 7. Okay. I think we're over the difficult spot, but that's assuming I haven't made any mistakes so far. If I have made mistakes, then, well, I'm doomed. This 9 eliminates this. So we have a 7 and a 5. Nothing really telling me which one is which. This 9 blocks this from being 9. We need a 9 in this square. Could there be a 9 in this square? I think there is a possibility. It's 9 here. Don't think that helped. Okay. This one and this one means that has to be a 1, right? Can't be this one, can't be any of these. Which means either this is a 1 or this is a 1. And either, I guess this is a 1 or that's a 1. Have we found anything new? It feels like we should have found something new, that there should be some column or row here where the options should be obvious. But not quite seeing it yet. Just more and more often jumping through all these. Let's look at this square. Can this be a 1? No. Can this be a 2? No. Can this be a 3? Possibly. Can it be a 4? Possibly. Can it be a 5? I'm assuming that's still the case. Can it be a 6? No. Can it be a 7? No. Can it be an 8? Possibly. And can it be a 9? Possibly. See, that's where you just mark all the possibilities. And there almost certainly is a mathematical argument to say if you're marking more than 4 numbers as a possibility, you might as well just leave the space blank. The only blank space we do have is here. So can this be a 1? No. Can it be a 2? No. Can it be a 3? No. Can it be a 4? No. Can it be a 5? It looks like it could be. Can it be a 6? No. Can it be a 7? No. Can it be an 8? No. Can it be a 9? No. And if that is the case, then it can only be a 5 if that's the only option. Okay. So then eliminates that and eliminates that. And since that, assuming we're still on the track of following actual logic, since that left us with only one option, let's just ask the same questions for this spot and then this spot. Can this be a 1? No, because of that. Can it be a 2? No. Can it be a 3? Yes. Can it be a 4? No. Can it be a 5? No. Can it be a 6? No. Can it be a 7? No. Can it be an 8? No. Can it be a 9? So it can only be a 3. Can this be a 1? Yes. Can this be a 2? No. 3? No. 4? Looks like it might be able to be a 4. 5? No. 6? No. 7? No. Can it be an 8? No. Can it be a 9? No. So we have a 1 and a 4 possibility here. Can this be a 1? Yes. Can it be a 2? No. Can it be a 3? No. Can it be a 4? Looks like it could be. Can it be a 5? No. Can it be a 6? No. Can it be a 7? No. Can it be an 8? Looks like the possibility of it being an 8. Can it be a 9? No. Let's move this pencil mark of a 3 off. And then let's just look at this cube. Can't be a 1. Can't be a 2. Can't be a 3. Could be a 4. Can't be a 5. Can't be a 6. Can't be a 7. Could it be an 8? Yes. Could it be a 9? No. This one can't be a 5 anymore because of that being in the same segment. Which inherently, if this segment needs a 5 and it can't have a 5 here because of this, and it can't have a 5 here because of this, that has to be the 5, which then eliminates that and either forces this or this to be a 5, and it can't be a 5 because of that. So that fills in that, which then eliminates these pencil marks. And we might be stuck at this point with the 5s, but I think we may struggled a little bit on that aspect, but we did eventually make progress. Although I'm not really sure if there's anything more I can do with 7s. This 8 means we can remove that pencil mark. Either this is 8 or this is 8. I don't think we can do anything more with 8s. We have a ton of 9s. If this was 9 here, then this box wouldn't have a 9. The only place a 9 can be in this 3x3 segment is here, which then means this has to be a 9. And get rid of that pencil mark. That means either this or this is a 9. We know these two can't be a 9. Now, that doesn't tell me quite enough. Like, this one could be a 9, or this one could be a 9. And nothing disproves any of that. But we do, at some point, need a 9 in the center spot. And we need a 9 in this column. Yeah, I don't think I can derive enough information. We can take this 9 off. And then that would mean either a 4 or a 3, and it can't be a 3, so this has to be 4. Which means this has to be 3. In this, we're looking for a 3, which it can't be, or a 4, which it can't be, or an 8. And so if it can't be 3 or 4, it's got to be 8. Which then means this can't be 8. Could this be 3? No. So it's got to be 4. This one can't be 3 because there's a 3 here. We've messed up. We've messed up. How do you save yourself from this at that point? All I can kind of do is just erase some information and hope that I've erased enough of the right information. But there is a high possibility I've done this wrong, and there's a high possibility that a significant portion of these puzzles solutions are wrong. But I kind of have to trust them. That I suppose you could wind back and only trust the black pre-written hints to check things, but I don't know how you would really mentally do that, since these hints then derived new hints that derived new hints that derived new hints. And it's not a case, I don't think, where you could just erase all the ones and then redo the ones. You'd have to erase all the ones and all the twos, or at least all the ones and all the threes, or all the ones and all the fours, or all the twos and all the sevens. You have to erase at least 2 full sets of numbers to try and test it. And this is where I'd like to be able to be just told, this number is absolutely in the wrong place. This is your hint from a digital version of Sudoku to help you, something that a paper version of the game couldn't help you with. Right, well, this square can't have a 3 here. It needs a 3. So we'll do that segment. Which makes that 4. Which eliminates that. And probably makes that 9. Let's see, can we put anything else here? Can we put a 1 in this section? No. Can we do 2, 3? No. 4? No. 5? No. 6? No. 7? No. 8? No. So we'll put a 9 there. Nine here forces a 9 to can't be here, so we need a 9 in this column, which means it's either here or here, and it can't be here, so then that forces that to be a 9, which that then forces that to be a 4. And I'm just hoping I'm still doing things correctly. Threes can't be here. And this segment needs a 3, and a 3 can't be here. So that's got to be 3. Which makes that 3. So we're looking for a 4, a 5, and a 7. Could a 4 be here? Yes. Could a 5 be here? No. Could a 4 be here? Yes. Could a 7? No. Could a 4 be here? No. Could a 5? Yes. Could a 7? Yes. And then if this 3 blocks all this and this 3 blocks all this, then that's got to be a 3. Theoretically, that's all the 3's done, hopefully. And then this can't be a 9 here because we have a 9 here, so it's got to be a 4. That would eliminate that. That would eliminate that. This 4 and this 4 means this has to be a 4. Could this be a 5? No. So this has got to be a 7. And this has got to be a 5. Again, we're making major assumptions here that any of this is right, because the puzzle will just let me go down the wrong path forever. It won't stop me. Can a 5 be here? No. So that has to be a 1. It has to be a 5. To be a 4. We should know what this is now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's wrong. It's obviously wrong. So, if this can't be 9, let's just eliminate all of those and start over with that. This 4 and this 4 would mean either this is 4 or this is 4. Although, even the 7 and 6 maybe should have been erased too. Maybe that is the way to recover, is that if you have a wrong number and it's an obvious wrong position, just get rid of all the cross references and start over from that spot. and this 4, and this 4 indicates that this has to be a 4. Which means this can't be a 4. Which means this has to be a 4. And this has to be 8. Let's say this has to go here, and 5 can still go there. That's still fine. 3 would have to go here, and then 8 or 9 can go there. And that seemed not to cause any problems. So maybe we are back on track now. We have an 8, which can only go here, and then a 1. We did it! And I'm shocked I did it, frankly. I didn't realize I was anywhere close to doing it, first of all. But second of all, I'm actually rather surprised there. But yeah, it definitely feels like hard puzzles are very hard. So in updating this game and adding more packs, it probably would have made some sense to put Master Ninja either above easy or in between medium and hard, because there's this implication that Master Ninja is harder than hard, and I just don't think that's really the case. I also assume we cannot unlock the infinity until we've done all 30 of the easy. Then we'll unlock easy infinite, or all 40 of the hard ones. So I could see myself potentially, if I really loved the game or didn't even really care and just wanted to continue to play, I could see myself cheating as much as possible to get the first 30 done, get the achievements in particular, and then if I want to play more, clicking the infinite button. I guess the question will come down to, do you get extra achievements for doing all the Master Ninja pack? And I want to click here just for a second to see if there is perhaps a different pattern or a similar pattern. I would say no. Doesn't seem like it. It seems like the hints here are fairly abundant, but not in any particular special pattern, whereas this pattern here seemed very obvious. Now it might be a case that there is some kind of mathematical reasoning to these patterns, and there is perhaps some mirroring going on with this triangle here and this, I don't know what you call it, T here, and this T here, rotated triangle here, rotated triangle here. But honestly, if you have a 3x3 grid, you can rotate, flip images so they seem similar pretty easily. Alright, well, next time we will try Pro Pack 1. Again, I don't feel like it makes a lot of sense to just try and cover all of these puzzles and make a whole series out of this. So we'll probably be done after 10 episodes at this rate. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.